this next part, this is part 18. I'm just going to whiz through this quickly. Unlawful sexual relations coming from a 13-year-old. There we go. Right, it starts off by saying, God to Moses, speak to the Israelites and say to them. So, this is from God for Moses to say to everybody else. And it starts off by saying, I am the Lord your God. And then it goes on to say, you must not do as they do in Egypt, where you used to live, and you must not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I'm bringing you. Do not follow their practices. It elaborates on this by saying, you must obey my laws and be careful to follow my decrees, for I am the Lord your God. It says that to close that little paragraph. So he starts by saying, I'm the bloke you worship. Then he goes on to say something, and he goes, and you must do that, because I'm the bloke you worship. So he reassures you all the way through, and he keeps on saying this all the way through this chunk. And it says, because I am the Lord your God, keep my decrees and laws, for man who obeys them will live by them, because I am the Lord, I'm the bloke you worship. So it just goes on and on and on and on. It's kind of weird. No one is to approach any close relative to have sexual relations, for I am the Lord. And it says this all the way through. So most of it is just saying you're not supposed to, do it with anyone you're related to or close to. Yeah. It also says you can't, if you have a wife and you can't take her sister over your wife to marry and have sexual relations with, unless your wife is dead. And I suppose that's obvious. But it just says anybody you're related to except for your wife, you can't do anything. Do not approach the woman to have sexual relations during the uncleanness of the monthly period. I think you can jump to conclusions with that one. Also says, do not have sexual relations with your neighbour's wife and defile yourself with her. So don't do it with your neighbour's wife. It says, don't give any of your children to openly do it, And it also says, this is verse 22, do not lie with a man as one lies with a woman, because that is detestable. So, can't be gay. Because that's wrong, because it says so. You can't do it with an animal, apparently. Because that technically classes as perversion. Wasn't going to do it with a cat downstairs, but whatever. And then it keeps on saying, because I am the Lord your God, you can't do this, because I'm the God you worship. So, the rest of it just says, to what audience is going for. It says, you must keep my laws. That applies to the Israelites and the aliens, people not from Israel. And it says, for all these things were done by the people who lived in the land before you, and the land became defiled. And if you defile the land, it will vomit you out as it vomited out the nations that were before you. So, if you do what this says, not only are you defiled, which is like, I can't really explain that one, difficult word, in the dictionary. The land will become defiled as well, so the whole area around you will become sin, like sinning and whatever. And that happened in Egypt, and it's happening in Canaan, which is the place they're heading to. Because the whole place will just become overrun with this, and it's a gigantic sin. Everyone who does any of these detestable things, such person should be cut off from the people, again, ejected, Keep my requirements and do not follow any of the detestable customs that were practiced before you came, and do not defile yourselves with them, for I am the Lord your God. So, and the bloke you worship. And I love that bit. He just reassures you, why have you got to do this? Alright, because the Lord said so. Why have I got to do this? Alright, because the Lord said so. Why have I got to do this? Alright, because the Lord said so. And it's good, because it's not like just drivel that you keep on reading and reading and reading and it doesn't go anywhere. It's like, alright, because, God's God, I can't do this. Because God's God, I can't do this. And that's really good and effective, because it keeps your memory going. Anyway, that's the end of Leviticus, and on to New Testament reading next. Right, second chunk, this is Mark 14:17 to 42. This is the New Testament reading, and that was my dad laughing. Right, this is like when they're all chilling after a hard day of Jesus doing. It actually says reclining at the table eating, having dinner, like, which I've just had. Very nice. And he just says it bluntly, just randomly. I tell you the truth, one of you will betray me, one who is eating with me. So, I think this is the Last Supper, actually. I'm not sure, don't hold me to this. Probably should know, though. So he says, one of you lot is going to hand me over to the Romans, and then they're going to kill me. And that's that. He doesn't particularly sound worried about it, just stating obvious to him. Apparently they were saddened, and one by one, not all together, said, surely not me, surely not me. One by one, they said, Jesus, just, it's not me, is it? And then, another bloke would come up, it's not me, is it? It's not me, I'm not going to betray you. Jesus didn't say anything to that. He just kind of shoved it off and ignored it. But he goes, it is one of the 12. So it's one of the disciples. He didn't say which one. And one who dips bread into the bowl with me. So one who eats from the same dish that I eat from. And, the disciples kind of go crazy about this. Because they go, but woe to the man who betrays the Son of Man. So, we should pity the man who hands Jesus over, because it goes on to say it would be better for him if he had not been born. And Jesus just kind of let this happen and let them have their little discussion. Kind of cute, I expect. But they're just kind of conferring, just saying, oh yeah, surely, this is horrible. You know, surely he should have never been born. This is disgraceful. How dare he? I pity him. And then they just carry on eating, and then they say grace and communion and everything, and goes through the whole communion bit. But he says here, I tell you the truth, again, randomly, just after grace, I tell you the truth, I will not drink again of the fruit of the vine, so won't drink wine, until that day when I drink it anew in the kingdom of God. So that will be the last time he will drink earthly wine. So he won't drink it again until he gets to heaven. Bummer. Then when they finished eating, they sung a little song and went out to the Mount of Olives. There, in the Mount of Olives, Jesus goes, we'll all fall away, Jesus told them, for it is written. So, don't know what that means, just thought I'd throw it in. Then it has this kind of like 2-line poem, which is really nice. I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. I don't think he actually meant that he will do that. But Jesus is the shepherd, and the disciples are the sheep. If someone has a go at Jesus, then the sheep will go crazy. Just as, if you like, have a go at a shepherd, the sheep will all run away, scared, because no one's there to protect them. And I kind of like that, and that kind of stuck out to me, that And then it says, "But after I have risen, I will go ahead of you into Galilee." Peter declared, "Even if all fall away, I will not." Yeah, that was Peter. And then Jesus goes, "I tell you the truth." Again, I tell you the truth. He's not, liar. He's not stretching the truth. He's just clean and blunt. Jesus answered, "Today, yes, tonight, before the cock crows twice, you yourself will disown me 3 times." And I love this. It says, Peter insisted empathetically. He was absolutely adamant with himself that he was not going to do this. He was like almost outraged at how someone would think this. He was stupidly close to Jesus. He was like Jesus' best friend, and Jesus didn't pick favourites. If he did, it would be Alwyn. But I love the way that he thought he knew. He insisted empathetically that would never ever happen. In a way, that's kind of arguing with Jesus. You can't do that because that's a bit stupid. Even if I have to die with you, I will never disown you. And all the others said the same. So even if he has to be stuck up on a cross himself, he would rather do that than disown him. Just even once, not let alone 3 times. And all the disciples agreed. Like, yeah, I would rather go up on the cross than disown you. What happened later? He disowned him. Well done. Then there's a whole scene in Gethsemane, which nothing much happened that I can remember. And then you've got the psalm reading at the end, which, again, I don't get. And I don't know what it is, because the Psalms and the Proverbs readings, they don't really stick out to me. They're just like prayers that somebody said and written down that they liked. I don't know why. I just don't get anything from them. So if you do, shoot me a text or an email and explain them to me, because I don't get them. I've literally got question marks written by them. Right, that was my entry. That was November 6th, day 67. So, thank you guys. Thanks for watching. If you did manage to watch all the way. If I was watching this, I'd probably fall asleep myself. So, yeah. Have a good one. And shoot me a text if you've got anything from it. Ta-da.